Today's video is a little bit different than anything that I relatively do on my channel. Most of my content is focused on analyzing races and talking about the Senate map and governor's map, talking about specific House races, etc. on this channel overall. And that's all my analysis. But today I wanted to take an opportunity and let my subscribers tell you guys how they believe that these races will play out in the 2026 midterm cycle for the United States Senate. So some of these are really interesting, some are not surprising, and yeah, so overall I wanted to give this opportunity for my subscribers to really have their opportunity. I think if any of you guys have been watching my channel for any length of time, you know how much they mean to me, and how much the encouraging feedback and also criticism is to me in my videos. I love to improve in any way I can, and getting those comments of people who criticize but also encourage me is super great. So I wanted to give back to you guys and let you guys predict how the 2026 Senate map would take place. So with that said, everybody knows this is a relatively small channel. I'm still working on, getting a bigger audience and such. But as of today, still a relatively small channel, and not a ton of people are voting on the community tab. But I still do have a fair share of people who are voting. I think the smallest number was around 8. And the largest around like 14 or something. So still a lot of people who took the time out, and I appreciate it, to vote on some of these races and how they believe that they would pan out. So with that said, that's enough of me talking. I want to go ahead and get into the video and talk about the state of Georgia. So for this prediction, only 8 people voted. It was the smallest number of the vote share. And this was not really surprising in my opinion. All 8 people voted for Jon Ossoff, 100% in favor of Jon Ossoff, 0% for Mike Collins. So that leaves Georgia as a blue state, holding that for the Democratic Party. Also, I want to take this moment to obviously point out there's no margins in this video. I could have for sure made that happen, but I didn't do that. That would have required some sort of Google form or something, and I thought it'd just be easier if you guys could just vote on the community tab. And if you're wondering how to vote or be engaged in any of this in the future, make sure you're subscribed, turn your post notifications on, and you can visit the channel and then push post tab on the channel, and that'll lead you to the post that I put. I put polls. Sometimes I'll put messages if I'm not filming videos lately, etc. So you can check that out if you're interested. The next race that we're going to talk about is just above it in the state of North Carolina. The state of North Carolina also had 8 voters across the post tab in My American Elections post tab, and that was also 100% in favor of Roy Cooper. All 8 people voting in favor of Roy Cooper, 0% voting for Michael Whatley. So my viewers also think North Carolina is going to go to the Democratic Party, the first flip of the night in favor of Democrats. Moving on, the next state I want to talk about is the state of Maine. The state of Maine had 9 voters, so one more than the other 2. And with this one, this was one of the closer but not so close also races that my subscribers were a little bit torn on, with 78% of the 9 voters voting for Troy Jackson and 22% voting for Susan Collins, still leading Troy Jackson as the Democratic candidate who wins. He flips Maine, the second flip for Democrats of the night, according to my subscribers. Moving on to the state of Ohio, I had 11 voters, even more encouraging there, with 91% saying they believe Sherrod Brown would win to 9% saying John Husted would win. Sherrod Brown flips the state of Ohio. That's 3 flips. If they hold on to the state of Michigan now, that would leave them with 50-50 on the United States Senate. They would need one more to flip in order to gain Senate control. So again, 11 voters and 91% voting for Sherrod Brown, 9% for John Husted. The next race actually really surprised me in the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan had 14 voters. I think the largest number of voters in the post tab for any of these polls, and 100% of people believed that Abdul Al-Sayed would win this race to Mike Rogers with 0%. So no people believing Mike Rogers will win, 100% of those 14 voters believing Abdul Al-Sayed would win, and that's going to give Democrats 50-50 in the United States Senate currently, needing one more to flip in their control. Moving to the next state, which is the state of Iowa, another closer but not so close race. 13 people voted across the poll for Iowa, and 23% voted in favor of Josh Turek, with 77% voting for Ashley Hinson. This is a Republican hold in the state of Iowa on the Senate level. So this, again, leaves Republicans with another opportunity where they've retained a Senate seat in the state of Iowa, and that leaves Texas and Alaska to decide Senate control. In order for Republicans to retain, they would need both seats. Democrats only need one of the two to win Senate control across the board. According to my subscribers so far, Democrats are at 50, Republicans are at 48, Texas and Alaska yet to be decided. But the next state I do want to talk about is the state of Texas, which had 13 voters, so one less than both, or one less than the state of Michigan and the same as Iowa. In the state of Texas, I had again 13 votes. 85% voted in favor of James Tallarico, with 15% voting in favor of Ken Paxton. Another flip for Democrats on the Senate level in the state of Texas, which automatically guarantees them Senate control in this prediction, according to my subscribers. And that leaves us with one state left, which is the state of Alaska. The state of Alaska, which was won by President Trump by a substantial margin, but Mary Peltola, being a former congresswoman from the state representing the whole state, performs really well in some of the polling, making this a competitive race. My viewers, 10 voters on the state of Alaska, which had 10% for Dan Sullivan, so 1 voter for Dan Sullivan and 9 voters for Mary Peltola, 90% for her, and that gives Democrats another pickup in the state of Alaska, which ultimately lands them with 52 Senate seats to Republicans' 48 Senate seats. So with that said, this is the final map for the Democrats and Republicans for the 2026 Senate races, according to my subscribers, and these were conducted over the last couple of days. I left this up for people to vote on, and these were the final predictions. So with that said, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my subscribers? Anybody in the comments who didn't vote, do you guys disagree with any of these characterizations? I'd love to know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. Reply to you guys and see where you guys stand on certain races. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on so you're notified every single time that I post, so you are notified for the next time that I post a post tab where you can vote on something like this if I do any of these videos in the future. With that said, you're more than welcome to check out my midterm analysis on the right, and you can subscribe to my channel on the left. Make sure to like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys again so much for watching.